It's like, hold on, what is you talking about? I'm not giving up nothing that I need and love for something else. But then it's like, essentially, that's what we're doing. We're saying, nah, I'm gonna put the fleshly needs to the side, and I'm gonna do what's best for my family at all times.
So what I was going to say to you, Cloud, was I think what the few parts that you're missing is that the idea of what he was speaking on was also that both should be sacrificing for each other, right? So if both of y'all are sacrificing, then that means just by default, y'all are meeting each other's needs, right? So that's one thing. And the other idea of sacrifice is a trade-off. And I get what you're saying in terms of love, but I think sacrifice plays a role in love, because love, I wrote this down, because love can lead people to prioritize their well-being um, for the person that they are in love with, right? So even at the cost of their own desires and comfort. So you're saying like you're feeding your kids is not a sacrifice because you want to do it. But the definition of sacrifice is to prioritize their well-being over your own desire and comfort, right? So I know you would probably rather not be at work and spending time with your kids, but because you know you need to feed them, you're going to sacrifice that time out of love because you want to make sure that they're healthy, right? So I think it's kind of like we look at it from a negative sense, because not all sacrifice is always bad
That's what I meant.
sacrifice. Um,
That's not what I meant.
so for instance, in a relationship, at some point in any relationship, that when you are in love with a person, and that can be friendship and you love them, parent child relationship, mother father relationship, significant other relationship, you in that relationship long enough, you will sacrifice. There is no way that a relationship, let me say, I've been married 21 years, but been with my husband for a total of 28. And out of that time, we got two kids, and there was a lot of sacrifices made, speaking from the perspective of what you're saying, the negative sacrifice, meaning it was something that I had to give up that I did not want to, but for the greater good of the family, I had to. Same thing with him. For the greater good of, we actually had an argument the night before last. It was stupid. It was
What?
over comfort of going to sleep. He didn't want me to hold him. I need body touch. I need skin to skin contact when I sleep. And
Ow.
he, and he like, yo, get off me. Like, I just want to be comfortable tonight. He's like, my arm go to sleep. Like, I just want to be comfortable, right? And he's like, I always like, you don't understand. And honestly, when I think we talked about sacrifice, he did. He would usually give up his comfort for my comfort.
My
And
gave up whole arm.
See,
right.
I feel like I want to respond to you because I feel like you're misunderstanding like where I was coming from. I was never saying that sacrifice was a bad thing per se.
Okay.
However, I don't necessarily agree that a person should give up their comfort. Like, for example, how you saying your husband's arm, whatever, he couldn't sleep. I don't think that he should do that personally. I think he should get a good night's sleep and you should get a good night's sleep. What I'm more so saying is that when I'm doing something for my loved ones, like, all right, I'm going to read one of the definitions I found for sacrifice. And I feel like this will make more sense, right? It says to give up something important or valued for the sake of other considerations. Now, my thing is like, when it's love, there are no other considerations. So something isn't being given up for other considerations because that thing is the consideration. The well-being of my children is the only consideration. There is no me. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like y'all are looking at it as though, and I think when people think of it from the perspective of sacrifice, what that does is that can create resentment because in their mind, they genuinely believe that they're giving up something for the benefit of the other person. But if you're doing something out of love genuinely, then you're really not giving up anything. You're the one that's gaining because that's what you wanted to get. What you wanted to get was that thing. So you're the one that's gaining. You haven't lost anything. You haven't given up anything. There was no trade made. You just
It
gave.
is. I think that's what you're missing. So think about it like all of the people who play sports, right?
Sports isn't
They
a
are
love-based relationship.
sacrificing their bodies, they're sacrificing their time, they're
But
sacrificing.
none of those things are done.
Well,
But that's not for love. They do
it
that
is.
for a
It's for
check.
the love of
It's a
the
career.
sport. It is. It's for
Well,
the
But
let,
what
love.
I'm saying is
keep,
people
hold
who
on,
genuinely,
hold on.
people who
Hold
genuinely
on.
love the sport, it's not a sacrifice. Like if I like to play basketball, I didn't sacrifice my time. I'm doing what I wanted to do with my time, which is play basketball. I didn't sacrifice my time to play basketball.
Not if
I'm
you
You're
doing
rather
what I
sacrifice.
go
love.
out somewhere
You
else. Like
sacrificing your body though.
well, you sacrifice your body, but even things that you want to do. Like I have a nephew now that plays ball. Even my brother, he had played in the NBA. He sacrificed a lot in order to do that because there were times he wanted to be home with his family. He wanted to be here during holidays. He wanted to be, with his kids, but he couldn't. So in order to provide for them, he sacrificed holidays, he sacrificed time with them in order to play ball. And he loved the sport, but at the end of the day, they were sacrifices that he made that he would have rather been at home with his family than dribbling a ball. So there are sacrifices that you make along the way. And he sacrificed his body because now he got issues with his knees and everything.
I don't know. Like if you brush your teeth, is that sacrificing taking a shower? Like if you eat
I didn't want
breakfast,
to
is
do
that
it.
if you eat
Yeah.
breakfast, is that sacrificing an extra hour? Like, no, but I mean, if you wanted to wake up and eat breakfast, if that's what you wanted to do with your time, did you sacrifice sleep? No, you didn't. You did it. Like, I'm not
You
understanding.
did though.
But we're talking
You
about
You're
didn't want
technically
sleep.
we're
You didn't
talking
give
about
up
in
sleep because
regards
you
to
didn't want
somebody
sleep.
Hold
else.
on, you guys. Let Kelly
So
speak.
it's two
You're
things
not
between
giving up something you
sacrifice
didn't
and
want.
Hold on, y'all. Let Kelly speak, y'all.
You're
I
not giving
think
up. I wasn't okay, guys.
I mean, I'm trying to get everybody in that hasn't been talking as well. So we got to make sure we be mindful of that.
For sure.
I know Diane and Kelly haven't been speaking.
I think Miss Taken was just using it as an example, but as an example in regards to another person. I know she mentioned sports, but it's in regards to something else. And you're saying if you get up in the morning and brush your teeth, is it a sacrifice? We're not talking about a sacrifice to yourself. We're talking about a sacrifice towards someone else.